Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening everyone. My name is Jasya Dimawan and I am from Group 2. And in this video I will explain about threads and concurrency. So what is thread? Thread is the smallest unit in a program execution that a program can has some threads that run together. And what is concurrency? Concurrency is ability to run or to work some multiple program. Ability to run some multiple programs. So in this video I will explain more about threads and concurrency. There is we will start about the multi-thread server architecture. So there is some like schema from the multi-thread server architecture. First, client send a request to server, then server create a new thread to service the request, and the server listening for the additional client request, then create the thread. Next, this is the benefit the multi-thread server architecture did. First is to responsiveness may allow continued execution if part of process is blocked, especially important for user interface. And the second benefit is resource sharing. Threads share resource of process easier than shared memory or message passing. The third benefit is economy, cheaper than process creation. Threads switching lower overhead than context switching. And the last benefit is scalability. Process can take advantage of multiprocessor architecture. Next, we will talk about the multi-core programming. Multi-core or multiprocessor system putting pressure on the programmer's challenge include. So there is some challenge that pressure on programmers. First is dividing activities. Second is balance. Third is data splitting for data dependency, and last one is testing and debugging. And next, the parallelism implies a system can perform more than one task simultaneously. Next is the concurrency that supports more than one task making progress. So what I said before, what is concurrency is like ability to run or to support multi-programs that run together. There, this is single processor or core scheduler providing the concurrency. Next, in the last slide, we know about the parallelism. Parallelism implies a system can perform more than one task simultaneously. So there is a type for parallelism. First is data parallelism. Distributes subsets of the same data across multiple cores, same version on each. And next is task parallelism. Distributing threads across cores, each thread performing unique operation. As of thread grow, so does architecture support for threading. CPUs have cores as well as hardware threads. consider the Oracle Spark T4 with 8 cores and 8 hardware threads per core. This is the concurrency versus parallelism. We will next. This like what is it? Like gambaran, like vision of the single and multi-thread processor, like I think like vision, like example buying picture. So just like this. Next we will talk about the Amdahl's law. So Amdahl's law identify performance gains from adding additional cores to an application that has both several serial and parallel components. And like there is in that slide, there is like some Amdahl law, like speed up is bigger than 1 per s plus 1 minus s per n. So s is the serial portation and is the processing cost. So if application is 70% parallel and 25% serial, moving from 1 to 2 cores, and the result in speed up of is 1.6 times. As n approaches infinity, speed up approaches 1 per s. As like I said before, s is the serial portion. Serial portion is an application has disproportionate effect to performance gain by adding additional cores, but does not take into account contemporary multi-core system. Next, we will talk about user thread and kernel threads. User thread is management done by user level threads library. There are 3 threads library. First is POSIX pthread, and second is Windows threads, and the third is Java threads. And kernel threads support by kernel. Example in the general purpose operating system including Windows, Solaris, Linux, TrueSig for Unix, and MacOS. Next, there is a model in multi-threading. First is many-to-one, one-to-many, and many-to-many. So we will discuss about each of them. So let's talk about many-to-one. Many-to-one. Many user level threads map to single kernel thread. One thread blocking causes all to block. Multiple threads may not run in parallel on multi-core system because only one may be in kernel at a time. Fifth system currently use this model. Example: Solaris Green Thread, GNU Portable Threads. Next, we will talk about the one-to-one multi-threading models. So each user level thread maps to kernel thread, creating a user server, creating a user level thread creates a kernel thread. So one user can create one kernel thread. More concurrency than one to many. Number of threads per process sometimes restricted due to overhead. Example: Windows, Linux, and Solaris 8 and later. So you can see in the picture on the slide. In this slide, like user threads can create a single kernel thread. Every user can create a single kernel thread. Next, many-to-many model allow many user threads level to be mapped to many kernel thread. Allows the operating system to create a sufficient number of kernel threads. Solaris. So that operating system that use this model is like Solaris prior to version 9 and Windows with the Threadweaver package. Next, there is another model, so like two-level model, so similar to many, except that it allows the user thread to be bound to kernel thread. There is, for example, there is IRIX, HPUX, Unix through 64 Unix, then Solaris X and earlier. Thread libraries provide programmers with an API for creating and managing threads. There is two primary ways to implementing. First, library entirely in user space. And next is kernel level library supported by OS. Now we will talk about the pthreads. Pthreads may be provided either as user level or kernel level. Then POSIX standard API for thread creation and synchronization. In pthread, we use specification, not implementation. API specifies behavior of the thread library. Implementation is up to development to the library. For example, there is Solaris, Linux, and MacOS that usually use this pthread. So next, there is like some codes for pthreads. This is a sample of code that pthread. Next, we will talk about the Windows multi-thread C program. There is some code of the C multi-thread C program for Windows. Next, we will talk about the Java thread. Java threads are managed by JVM. Typically, this type is implemented using the threads model provided by underlying OS. Java threads might be created by like this code: public interface, runnable, public abstract void run. Then in the bottom of the slide, like implementing the runnable interface. there is some code to implementing that Java thread. So next, there lambda expression in Java. We will discuss about this. Similar to functional programming language, it uses Java version 1.x onwards. Beginner syntax without defining a separate class that implement runnable. Next, there is some code in Java that implement the runnable. Next, we will talk about the implicit threading. So, growing in popularity as a number of threads increase, program correctness more difficult with explicit thread. Question and management of threads done by compilers and runtime libraries rather than programmers. Application development identify tasks, not threads, that can run in parallel. A task is written as a function that runtime library maps to a separate thread, typically using the many-to-many model. Developers only need to identify parallel tasks and the library that determine the specific details of thread creation and management. There are 4 methods. First is third pulse, second is fork joins, and third is open MPI. The last one is grand central dispense. Now we will talk about the thread pool. Thread pool create a number of threads at a startup and place in a pool where they await work. There's the advantage when we use these threads is usually slightly faster to service a request with an existing thread than create a new thread. Then is allow the number of threads in the application to be bound to the size of the pool. The next is separating tasks to be performed from mechanics of creating tasks allows different strategies for running tasks. And Windows API support thread pools. A function that is to run as a separate thread is defined. Next, we will talk about the fork join. So the fork join is main parent thread creates. The main parent thread creates forks, one or more child threads, and then waits for the children to terminate and join with it. This thread creation technique is an excellent candidate to implicit threading. A library manages a number of threads that are created, and it also responsible for assigning tasks to thread. In some ways, this fork join model is a synchronous version of the thread pool, in which a library determines the actual number of threads to create. So, like you can see in the picture in the below of the slide, there is a like schema for join. Okay, because the slide is done. So what I said before, thread is the smallest unit in the program execution, that a program can has more than thread I'm sorry. And the concurrency is the ability to run or to work multiple programs. So for the example in our daily life, like if we like driving car with listen music, that's the driving and listening is treat. So and we are the concurrency, that we can do both the job, like driving and listening. Another example is when we open the laptop and we like doing some assignment. Of course we often open that multiple tabs or multiple programs to type, to watching the video, to listen the music or something like that. And another example is when we cook in the kitchen, we can cook, right? And we can do cutting the like onion, like the garlic, like the chili or something. So we can do multiple job. So that is the concurrency and thread in the daily life. So I think that's it that I can say in this video. If there are any mistake with my word or my word, of course actually I ask for forgiveness because I'm still learning too. So if there are any mistake, I'm really sorry. So because when I record this video is Idul Fitri or Eid Mubarak, so I want to say minal aidin wal faidin, mohon maaf lahir dan batin. So happy Eid Mubarak everyone, and see you to the next video, and goodbye.